Welcome everyone. This is Brother Doug here with the rest of the Waken by Yahuwah Assembly. I got my sister Shoshana right next to me here, Brother Bobby and Sister Kristen below her, their whole family here, their son Christopher here, their daughter Ava, my brother Dennis here, our sister Sally. So Sister Shoshana will be leading us in the reading today. We are getting close to finishing the book of Enoch, so she will be reading Enoch chapter 103, so I'll let her lead away.
Now therefore I swear to you, the righteous, by the esteem of our great and honored Al Shaddai, in dominion, and by his greatness I swear to you, I know a mystery, and have read the heavenly tablets, and have seen the Kadesh books, and have found written within and inscribed regarding them that all tughness and joy are prepared for them, for the righteous, and written down for the spirits of those who have died in righteousness. And that manifold tube shall be given to you in recompense for your labors, and that your lot is abundantly beyond the lot of the living. And the spirits of you who have died in righteousness shall live and rejoice, and their spirits shall not perish, nor their memorial from before the face of the Great One, unto all the generations of the world. Wherefore no longer fear their violence against you. Woe to you, you sinners, when you have died, if ye die in the wealth of your sins, and those who are like you say regarding you, Barak are the sinners, they have seen all their days, and how they have died in prosperity and in wealth, and have not seen tribulation or murder in their life, and they have died in honor, and judgment has not been executed on them during their life. Know you that your souls will be made to descend into Sheol, and they shall be wretched in their great tribulation, and into darkness and chains, and a burning flame, where there is grievous judgment shall your spirits enter. And the great judgment shall be for all the generations of the world. Woe to you, for you shall have no peace. Say not in regard to the righteous and good who are in life, or I should have said tube for that. In your troubled days, we have toiled laboriously and experienced every trouble, and met with much evil and much consumed, and have become few and our spirits small. And we have been destroyed and have not found any to help us, even with a word. And we have been tortured and destroyed, and not hoped to see life from day to day. We hope to be the head and have become the tail. We have toiled laboriously and have had no satisfaction in our toil, and we have become the food of the sinners and unrighteous, and they have laid their yoke heavily upon us. They have had dominion over us that hated us and smote us, and to those that hated us we have bowed our necks, but they pitied us not. We desired to get away from them, that we might escape and be at rest, but found no place whereunto we should flee and be safe from them, and are complained to the rulers in our tribulation, and cried out against those who devoured us. But they did not attend to our cries, and would not hearken to our voice. And they helped those who robbed us and devoured us, and those who made us few. And they concealed their oppression, and they did not remove from us the yoke of those that devoured us, and dispersed us, and murdered us. And they concealed their murder, and remembered not that they had lifted up their hands against us. This says a lot about today's world, and I do believe that it's talking about those who live today. It's actually talking about those who live in every generation, because in every generation there's the righteous and there's the wicked. But in this generation especially will the righteous be dispersed and destroyed by the unrighteous. And I thank you, Enoch, for bringing this out. Questions or comments, anyone?
I see a lot of revelations in this chapter. Yeah. A lot referring to where they say, you know, "O Master, O Yahusha, when will you avenge us, those that have died for you, those that have been slain by the wicked?" They talk about, when will you avenge our blood? And he talks about, you know, wait a little while until the rest of your brothers have suffered basically the same fate, like basically to be martyred also. So there's I guess there's a reason Yahushua allows certain believers to be martyred, certain to be kept safe. You know, the Father's ways are higher than our ways. Yahuwah's ways are higher than our ways. So there's definitely a reason he's going to avenge those that die in Messiah, that are killed by the wicked. Mm-hmm. And that are even persecuted in jail. When Yahushua says some of you will even be put in jail, the devil will test you. I think it says 10 days or something. So I believe Yahushua is going to reward those people. He's going to give a special reward to people like that. And yeah, I saw a lot of revelations though. The books that are in heaven, to me, verse 2 is kind of saying like these could be the books that are opened that it talks about in Revelations, and you know, one of them could be the book of life. It could be referring to, and so
definitely the book of life will be open to them to show them what they can receive if they live right. And I think the book of Enoch will also be open to them because it's been closed for most people.
Yeah. Not just Enoch. I think actually prophecy as a whole technically has been closed with end times prophecy for a while, because there's a verse in Daniel where it says, "Shut the book." And it talks about that that the wicked will not understand, or the foolish will not understand, but those that are wise shall understand. So according to the time of the end, books like the book of Daniel will become more known, and Revelations will become more known. So, and Enoch along with that. So I think it's not just the book of Enoch. I think many people have not really understood Daniel or Revelations. It's been like shut to them for a while for purpose. I remember I think it's Daniel 12 where it talks about shut the book, seal it for now until the time of the end. So I think, in my opinion, there's been more than just the book of Enoch that people have not really actually known about. But yeah, I see a lot of stuff though, end time stuff in this chapter. Shows that even though we think the wicked prosper, they really don't. They're going to come to their end. So I've seen also a lot of themes from like Job in this chapter, and the book of Proverbs.
And Psalms.
Yeah.
Psalms of David.
how, you know, we as humans, we look at the wicked, oh, they got this wealth, they got this, they live their whole lives, they don't meet tragedy, you know, they're Baruch, but really Yahuwah is not Baruching them. Yahuwah is just saving them for the day of destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I saw a lot in this chapter. There was a lot.
So if you're living in sin and you seem to enjoy it, just remember what the end of it is going to be.
Yeah.
Repent.
Yeah.
While you have a chance.
Yeah. It reminded me also of the book of James, which it's falsely called James instead of the book of Jacob or Yaakov, where he says, you know, woe to you the rich that trust in yourself instead of Yahuwah. You know, woe to you wicked people that trust in your wealth, you know, basically saying, you know, your wealth can't save you. You know, you worry about, you know, getting greedy gain and all that. And I forget how it's worded, but the book of James talks about that and how he warns these wicked people that are all about trusting in their money and trusting in their material possessions, and how you have the scale not even. You show favor to the rich but not to the poor. And, you know, so he shows that, you know, all that they're going to come to their end on Judgment Day. They're going to meet their end for those people that want to trust in their own material things and their wealth. So, all right. Anyone else? Let me unmute some people because I had to go back going on before. But Sally, Dennis, you have anything to add, or anyone else?
Well, yeah, talking about these end times, and I tell you, these judges nowadays. We worked on a radio that a retired judge sent us, and his card, you know, he was a Mason, and you know, they're going to have to answer for what they do. I understand that if you have to defend yourself in self-defense, you're going to be locked up and probably lose everything you had because of this.
Because what?
Because you defended yourself.
Because you defend yourself?
Yes.
You're locked up?
You have to defend your life and your family.
Explain that.
Well, this company is called Concealed Carry. Company. They been wanting me to get basically insurance from them. They've had horror stories about ex-military people and others that were arrested because they defended themselves and were thrown in jail, and it cost them tens of thousands of dollars just to defend themselves for nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens to the little people, like you and me.
Yeah.
And this seems to be our lot.
You have to remember, we have the best. You have to remember, we have the best justice system that money can buy. Now that has nothing to do with righteousness.
There is none.
There is no righteousness.
No.
The justice system is the name of the Justice family in Italy. They're members of the Mafia and Illuminati.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, it has nothing to do with righteousness.
Also, I think one thing I did forget to add from the chapter we just read was the whole talking about there was a lot of tribulation being spoke of, and it seems like that was a recurring theme in this chapter, was believers going through tribulation and all that. And trying to think, there was a verse that referred to the head and the tail. And what's interesting is that the tongue says that if you obey Yahuwah, usually if we're obedient to the Father and the Son, that we would be the head and not the tail. And
not in this end time, because
yeah,
not to obey.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a reason probably for that. Yahuwah has a higher reason for why during the tribulation period that this is going to happen, where a lot of the body of Messiah is going to be tested. There, of course, there's a small portion of the body of Messiah that's protected, which is basically the woman in the wilderness, which is a certain part of the body of Messiah. But many other believers that have not been counted worthy will be going through this stuff firsthand. And so for whatever reason Yahuwah has, maybe it's to try them by fire, to test them, to see if they're really his. That's how I always looked at the tribulation period. It's a way for him to refine his believers in some way. And now those that are most obedient to him, are rewarded and don't have to go through that firsthand. And, those that are choosing to serve him as best as they can right now are, most likely would be counted worthy, as the book of Luke says. So I think there's definitely like a separation between, there's a certain amount of the body of Messiah that's not going to have to go through it and be safe in the wilderness. And then there's a certain portion of the body of Messiah that will have to go through it. So, but yeah, I see tribulation mentioned like 4 or 5 different times in this chapter. It's just interesting. It's like, yeah, definitely can't get a pre-trib from this book.
Nope.
So,
are any of you familiar with the zoning laws and where they come from?
Zoning laws? No, I never heard of that.
Oh yeah. Well, we've had problems with zoning in Atlanta. That's why I moved up here. Now, of course, it's up here. And if you have any dispute with them, you can't argue with them. You don't have any recourse. And they can put you in jail for nothing. Come find out, start looking up these laws. They're coming from the UN. And the Pope is over the UN. That's just one avenue that they're stealing our sovereignty. Oh boy, I got stories about it.
Oh wow. So that was chapter 103. I don't know if anyone wants to read the next chapter, or if there's any volunteers. I would like to read the next chapter. Anyone going?
Come on, guys, don't be shy.
Yep, if they're shy, I'll read. I have no problem reading. I'm just trying to share the love around here. Not trying to.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just kind of headachy. I'm not feeling really great. So if someone else wants to read that, it'd be fine.
All right. I'm sorry about that, Sally. All right.
That's okay. It'll go away after a while.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll read chapter 104. So I will be reading from the Hallelujah Scriptures version that I have on PDF right here. So it might be a little different from what you just heard with Shoshana's R.H. Charles version, a tiny bit with the terminology, but mostly the same. All right. So here we go. Chapter 104. I swear unto you that in the heavens, or Shamayim, the Malachim remember you for good, before the esteem of the Great One, and your names are written before the esteem of the Great One. Be hopeful, for beforehand you were put to shame through ill and affliction, but now you shall shine as the lights of the heavens. Wow, that's like copying Daniel. Huh.
Yeah, shine is the light of the heaven.
That's Daniel 12 right there. Those that are wise will shine like the stars of the heavens. Wow, interesting. So Daniel definitely knew of this book. You shall shine and you shall be seen, and the doors of the heavens shall be opened to you, and in your cry for judgment. And it shall appear to you, for all your tribulations shall be visited on the rulers and on all who helped those who plundered you. Wow, so we will have, Yahuwah will be taking our vengeance on the people that oppressed us. Wow. Be hopeful and do not cast away your hopes, for you shall have great joy as the Malachim of the Shamayim. What shall you be obliged to do? You shall not have to hide on the day of the great judgment. You shall not be found as transgressors. And the eternal judgment shall be far from you for all the generations of the world. And now do not fear, you righteous. When you see the transgressors growing strong and prospering in their ways, do not be companions with them. It's like Proverbs. But keep far from their violence, for you shall become companions of the hosts of the Shamayim. Interesting. You'll be friends with the stars.
Yeah.
And although you transgressors say, all our transgressions shall not be searched out and be written down, nevertheless, they shall write down all your transgressions every day. And now I show unto you that light and darkness, day and night, see all your transgressions. Do not be wicked in your hearts, and do not lie, and do not alter the words of uprightness, nor charge with lying the words of the set apart great one, nor take account of your idols, for all your lying and all your wickedness do not come forth in righteousness, but in transgression, in great transgression. Now I know this mystery, that transgressors will change and pervert the words of righteousness in many ways. Sounds like perverting Yahuwah's word. And will speak wicked words and lie and practice great deceits and write books concerning their words. Oh, you mean theology? You mean cemetery school? That sounds like what he's talking about. But when they write down truthfully all my words in their languages, so translations can be trusted. Not change or diminish, do not add or take away aught from my words, but write them all down truthfully, all that I first testified concerning them. Then I know another mystery, that books will be given to the righteous and the wise to become a cause of joy and uprightness and much wisdom. And to them shall the books be given, and they shall believe in them and rejoice over them. And then all the righteous who have learned from them all the paths of uprightness shall be repaid. Wow. So that's very interesting. That's a prophecy about his word being changed. Interesting.
Yeah. We know that a lot of things have been changed or left out completely because the evil ones don't want us to know what Yahuwah has in store for us. But Enoch tells us, and this is truth here, what Enoch says, that we are going to be Barak and in the company of the stars that shine. We will shine like the stars. Now, I can't imagine being a spirit being, but I know that that's our calling, to become spirit beings and live forever. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment. You can find that cross-reference I talked about in the book of Daniel in chapter 12. It says that those that are wise will shine like the stars in the firmament. So that, I believe that's chapter 12. I'm trying to remember what verse it is. Oh, I also wanted to say we got about 7 minutes left, so just wanted to let our viewers know that we'll most likely have to do a part 2 to continue this study. We'll have to come on for another session. We only get 40 minutes.
Let me read this quickly.
Yeah.
Daniel 12, verse 3, and those who have insight shall shine like the brightness of the expanse, and those who lead many to righteousness like the stars forever and ever.
And I just wanted to comment, stars are not just spirits, they do have bodies. So I just wanted to make that clear. They actually have like physical bodies. They're not just like ghosty, little spirits roaming around. Malachim have bodies. They might not have the same bodies we have, but
they're not flesh.
Yeah, they're not flesh. They have physical embodiment, though. They have like a physical body. And that's what my opinion will be when Yahushua says you will be like the Malachs of heaven in the resurrection. He's saying that basically we're going to have a better body. We're going to have
force fields.
Yeah, we're going to have like bodies of light, incorruptible physical bodies, like actual physical bodies. I don't believe we're just like a roaming spirit. The only
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Photons and force fields.
Star Trek. I don't know. I definitely believe that it's a physical, literal physical body. It's just not body to flesh.
Photons and force fields can create a physical body. And that's what I believe they're made of.
Interesting.
It's not like our fleshy body.
So hopefully this study kind of intrigued anyone that is new to our studies and new to this channel. If you want to reach out to us, we are the Awakened by Yahuwah Assembly. You can find our group page on Facebook. You can find also our page for the Lost Sheep.com Facebook page. Please reach out through that revenue, or you can also find all of us on Facebook. Me, my sister Shoshana, my brother Bobby, my sister Kristen. So all of us are out there on Facebook if you want to reach out to us, if you are in need of fellowship. Also, I pray that if there's any atheists or any non-believers that came across this study, that you please, I would pray today that you accept Yahushua Messiah as your personal Savior, that you would allow him to renew your mind and allow him to be giving you the free gift of salvation that the Father Yahuwah gives us, those that believe in his Son. So, and that once you accept him and you hold on to the end, as we are holding on to our belief in Yahushua Messiah and obeying him, that in the end, when he returns, you will be saved. So I just pray that, and thank you for coming by to watch this study that we provided for you guys, and hopefully you guys will stay tuned for a part 2 study in the near time future. So that was Enoch chapters 103 to 104. We will do a part 2 shortly to continue it. Shalom.
Shalom.
Alrighty then.